episode 1 of Stuff and Nonsense, a show full of stuff and you guessed it, nonsense. I'm Jo, the one that isn't Irish.
And I'm Annella, the one that is Northern Irish.
So how you doing, Annella?
I'm good. How are you doing this morning? I was just thinking about you last night because I watched that West Ham game. What a goal.
It was a cracker. Hilaire, or Haller, as some people call him. Yes, I've been negative tweeting, etc. about him for months, but yeah, that goal was a clear cracker. Just hope that he's going to keep on with this now, to be fair, because he cost 45 million, but there you go. But yeah,
cheap at the price. Well, he did.
Cheap as chips.
I think if anything, you can look back and think that goal was probably one of the best of the season for sure.
Still not, it was worth perfect. 45 million though.
I don't know. That was a 45 million pound goal. Hey, speaking of football, it's a nice segue into talking about our guest today on this episode, who should be arriving at our Zoom door any minute now. Clare Lydon, author, podcaster.
Annella, is that a door? Can you hear the door? Is there somebody at the door?
That'll be her. Yeah, that'll be her now. Let her in.
She's here. Hi, Claire.
Yay, hey, Claire.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey. So how you been, Claire? What's been happening?
Very good, very good. Well, not a lot really, because we're still in tier 3 COVID lockdown in London. So what's been happening? I've been watching Christmas movies. Big fan of Christmas movies.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into one. I've just started watching what do you call it? Happy Season? Is it Happy Season?
Happiest Season.
Oh yeah, just watch that. But earlier on we were talking about football, and we were talking about West Ham, that game last night. I don't know whether you follow West Ham. that goal was amazing.
I think I'm a big Spurs fan, Annella. So last night was not a good evening. Although we played pretty well, but I know you're fans of women's football as well, which I am too. So Spurs have just got a new manager, and we've just turned a corner, so that's good.
Oh, who's the new manager?
Oh, no, I knew you were going to ask me that. I think it's Rayanne. Yeah, I can't remember her surname, but she used to be the deputy, Phil Neville's deputy in the England setup.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah. So, and we had a great pair of managers for a couple of seasons, and they took us up to the Premier League, and that was brilliant. But or the WSL. But then we hadn't won all season, so now they've just got a new manager in. We won 2 on the bounce. New manager bounce.
Yeah, I know, because we had you at the beginning, obviously, because I'm a West Ham fan, so I'm going to push Annella to the side now, because I'm going to take over this, obviously. Because we had you at the beginning, because this is your second season, right? So, and I think you had a cracking first one, and you took one of our people as well, Rhea Percival. But there you go, that's what happens, isn't it?
Soz life.
Yes, yeah, thanks about that. But I mean, look at what you've achieved this season. You've got Alex Morgan as well, so that's really exciting, getting all the NWSL people over, and I think that
super exciting. Yeah, super exciting. And now she's playing, because she wasn't playing for a while, but she scored 2 penalties now, so it's looking good.
But it's exciting times for the WSL as well, to be fair. It's still an long way to go.
I'm a member of the Proud Lily Whites, but I haven't really got a lot to do. I don't have a lot to do with them, because I just haven't been going to as many matches, obviously this year, but as last year as well. But I do want to get to a live women's game, but you had to buy a whole season ticket, and I couldn't commit.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I must admit, it is difficult being a season ticket holder for both. I do completely understand you, but all the LGBTQ plus supporters groups just help so many people. It really does. I can't stress enough how important it is, both men's and women's football, all the work that people do behind the scenes. And I'll be making sure that I get you a ticket and you come over and see West Ham as well. Definitely after this. All right, Claire?
Well, it's actually closer to, I don't know where the women play their games, because the men, like I live in Greenwich, so the men are very close.
That's really easy. Yeah, we're playing Dagenham or Dagenham.
Dagenham, lovely.
So I actually went to my first women's game with you, Claire. Remember England and USA?
Yeah.
We had a couple of Americans with us, so it was kind of fun.
That was a really good game. That was great.
Because England ended up winning that game, and they were totally the underdogs.
Yeah,
it was great fun. So anyway, I want to talk about your writing as well. Like when I left England, went to America, you were just starting your writing career. So how many books have you published now? Yeah, it's like about 7 years, 6-7 years ago.
Those years ago, Annella. Yes, I was counting this up because I knew you'd ask me this question.
I tried to count on your website. I think I got about 17 or 18. 17?
Yeah, 17 novels, a few novellas, and I'm bringing out number 18 in late Jan, early February.
You've just done your Christmas and Mistletoe, and now you're just firing out another one. Have you written them just back to back, or how did you do that?
Yeah, I think. Well, I started this other one, Hot London Nights, which is coming out in like late Jan, early Feb. It's book 7 in the London Romance series, and I finished that probably in about sort of September. But then I had Christmas half written, so then I finished Christmas, got that to the editor, and knew I had to get that out because it's a Christmas book, and it had to be out. And then so I just put Hot London Nights on the back burner, and now I'm just picking it up. Like I sent it to the editor, so I'm just going through it. So I was just doing that today, going through that.
God, that's really amazing. Yeah. Do you publish them all under your Custard Publishing? Is that how you do this now?
Yeah, Custard Books. So I set up my own company when I started, sort of on the advice of my accountant. I didn't really have any money coming in or anything then, but I had big dreams. So I thought, may as well set up a company, and then I made it an imprint. So yeah, custard is my favorite word. So I decided to call it Custard Books.
Is that just because it's your favorite word, or do you love custard as well?
I do love custard as well. Anything custard, I'm all in.
That's what I love about Christmas. I get all the custard. My sister makes this amazing caramel pie, and I always like vanilla custard out of Sainsbury's with the caramel pie.
Yeah,
nice. Maple syrup one as well is lovely as well. Sorry, now you've spoken of that, I just fancy apple crumble. It's crazy.
What? Maple syrup custard.
Maple syrup, yeah. Put the maple syrup in with custard. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Well, I digress as usual. So I'm actually the one with the nonsense, right?
I do like a warm mince pie in custard. That's the bomb.
Definitely. Do you heat your mince pie up in the microwave or the oven? Sorry, the oven.
No, the microwave. 20 seconds. Perfect.
20 seconds and hot custard or cold custard? Hot. I sometimes even add a little cream on top with that as well. A little fresh cream.
Indulgent.
Yeah. God, I love Christmas. So how do you go about promoting yourself? Because it is pretty hard to promote yourself. Like, do you do readings and signings and all of that? Is that how you promote it, or?
Not so much, really. I guess in a promotion sort of way, you have to decide whether you want to do content marketing. So do some blogs, do newsletters, do podcasts, which is the way I go, or you do paid advertising. I do a little bit of that, and it's all online. So I do Facebook. I have done a little bit of Facebook advertising. I'm not very good at it, so I haven't done that for a while. And I do a bit of Amazon advertising on their platform, but mainly I do it via, I've got a mailing list that people are constantly joining. I give away a free Christmas novella. So if anybody wants to join that, head over to my website, clarelydon.co.uk, and just sign up there. You get a free Christmas romance. Yay. So, and then once people are on my mailing list, if they stay on it, then they'll get a email from me every 2 weeks, just saying what I'm doing. So that's a really good way to stay in touch with people and promote yourself.
I think you're very good at that. I often see your social content, and I think it's really good, even if it's just a picture of you writing and stuff like that. Keeps you in our minds.
Although
that's right, yeah.
And I can actually see why you're a writer and not a baker after your attempt with the decoration of the gingerbread people. I was,
I can see that too. My books are better than my gingerbread baking. Honestly, it tasted really nice, but the icing. It's not my finest hour. I'm gonna buy a piping bag this Christmas and try and perfect it.
It's hard.
I'm looking forward to the next videos.
It looks easy on Bake Off, doesn't it? But it's not.
It is easy,
So promoting really, via newsletter. I do blogs. I do a lot of social media, Instagram and Facebook, and I've got 2 podcasts. So that sort of hopefully keeps me in people's minds. That's the main thing that I want to do.
And I was going to just mention book signings, because today I was writing some Christmas cards, and I don't tend to send Christmas cards a lot, as you all probably know.
Is ours in the post?
I was writing some Christmas cards, and when I write my name, because I'm doing it fast, it never looks like Annella. It's like Amella oh, Ella, look, I can't do the two N's, so it never. I'm not a good signing person. So how do you get around that when you're signing books? Do you ever make mistakes?
All the time, and I've just been doing it the last couple of weeks because I've just obviously brought out Christmas in Mistletoe, and it's selling really well in paperback because people want it as Christmas presents, right? And
nice.
or just a gift to yourself. Available at all good bookstores. And I had about 20 people wanting a signed copy, so I ordered them, and then I started signing them, and I get so nervous signing books. Before I started this, I thought that signing books would be like an amazing thing to do, but I get so nervous. And I've got like a few books on my desk here, and they've all got misdone signatures that I couldn't possibly send out to people. So yeah, it's nerve-wracking, and I never get it. I always mess up by 1 in 10.
Sometimes if you do it at home, it's okay, but if you're doing it in front of that person, I imagine it's hard if you screw up.
Oh yeah. If you just write the way you spell your name.
I have a question, right? Because I've read some of your books, and some of them are a little raunchy, right? I was curious if your family read your books.
They do.
Is it awkward, or are you just like at this point it's just like whatever?
No, I mean, I think when at first I was like a bit squeamish about it, but then you just have to get over it, because otherwise you'd never write anything or release anything. I mean, even my parents have read one of my books, which I'm amazed to say. I never thought I'd say that my mum and dad. Luckily, not luckily, but my mum's got a bit of dementia, so if she reads it, she'll probably forget it, so it's fine.
Right.
Dad's asked to read another one, so yeah, he didn't mind it.
Do you give them a warning, trigger warning?
No.
Let them read it, and that's
As my mum did say to me, I've read sexy books before, Claire. Okay.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yes, that's true.
How's your mum doing, Claire? Though it's an awful time for any illness, to be fair. So, how's she doing though?
They're both doing all right, actually, because my parents are both 87, so they're quite elderly. But they just had the first vaccine shot today, so that's good.
That's great news.
Yeah. So they've got to have another one on the 7th of January, and then they'll be protected, hopefully. So that's good.
My gosh.
Because obviously we're not going over there at Christmas. Just gonna stay where we are at Christmas.
In Greenwich.
Yeah.
Just following on from that last question, how much of your characters in your books are inspired by your real experiences? I'm not talking about the sex scenes or anything. just the characters and the life experiences. Are they real, or are they all fiction, or do you take them from bits?
I think there's a bit of me in every single character I write. And as for but one character is never based on one person. So I think I take bits of people I meet and people I read about, really. I think that's the key for creativity, like just experiencing life, which is why this year's been a bit difficult. Luckily, I had some books to write from my life experiences, but I'm running out of life experience now, so I need to get out there and have some more life.
With this vaccination, you'll be out there soon getting more.
Yeah. For instance, Before You Say I Do was a big seller for me this year, and it's about a bride who falls in love with her bridesmaid, and it was based on I heard a radio interview with a woman who's a professional bridesmaid for a living. And I'd never heard of this. I thought, really? That's a job? And so then I thought, what if this bride was freaking out and her husband-to-be hired her a professional bridesmaid to make things better, and then they fell in love? So just things like that, like you hear something on the radio and I think, what if? That's always you have to think with fiction. How can I switch it and make it a story, an intriguing story? And similarly, Christmas in Mistletoe, I think you said you read it. That was based on a little village in Essex that I went to last year for a weekend, and it was incredible. I mean, obviously, it wasn't covered in snow and it didn't have a Christmas tree farm, but it did have a part-time bar and a shop, and it did have a quirky cast of characters. So I kind of played on that, and they had a real sense of community there, and it felt like a magical place. So I thought I wanted to put it in a book.
Yeah, and that does come across. So it's great. It's one of the things I like about your books is you always have scenes of first dates. Some of us can really relate to where things go wrong, you know, and as I say, Christmas Mistletoe has one of those where Fran, you know, goes awfully when she first meets this person. It reminded me of one of my first dates, and I was going to the cinema in Islington on a first date with Holly, who you both know, and we went to Wagamama next door to, you know, that Islington cinema there for a quick bite to eat, and that involves eating with chopsticks. Can you see where this is headed?
Yeah.
So she proceeded to try and make me laugh with these canine teeth and putting these chopsticks up in her mouth, acting pretend to be a walrus or something. And anyway, she was leaning them on the table, and they ended up sort of going up through her roof of her mouth, and bit of an embarrassing first date for her. How we laugh now at that.
I was going to say, it ended up all right, Annella.
Yeah. But it just reminded me of, you know, I'm sure everybody thinks that when they're reading your stories and those scenes.
Yeah, I think when I first started writing, I was reading, I just found a lesbian romance, and I was reading a lot of it, and a lot of it was based in America, all the stuff I'd read anyway. And I thought I can write these stories based in London. That's what I wanted to read. Yeah. So I just thought I'll write them. So yeah, that was the inspiration. Yeah,
and it's lovely sort of reading them and recognizing places, and I haven't recognized the characters yet.
Yeah, I'm sure Blush Bar makes it in there somewhere. And the Thai Cafe, that was transported to a book that was based in New York. So there's a cafe in New York, and it is the Thai Cafe. And everybody who read it and went to the Thai Cafe said, "Oh, it's nice that you transported the Thai Cafe to New York." I went, "Well, yeah."
You loved that place. Yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah, really great food. Just around the corner from Blush, Jo, if you remember it.
I remember it well. Yeah, I could eat gluten then because I didn't realise I was a celiac. Yeah, I spent half my life at Blush, didn't I? Being the house band and that with the Lonesomes and stuff, and many karaokes. Yes,
many karaokes.
Yeah, good times.
And that is actually how I first met Claire. She was karaokeing her heart out to Teenage Dirtbag.
Oh yeah, Teenage Dirtbag, the classic.
Every time I hear that song, I think of you, Claire.
I think many people around the world, Annella, for good and bad reasons. What was your karaoke song, Jo?
It would always be the classic Daydream Believer. I just love it. I was a huge Monkeys fan. So yeah, I always like to actually bring the tone down. When it was up, I always brought it down with a sad song. So yeah, so
I hate it when people sing karaoke and they're so good at it. So you two, you know, it's not entertaining enough. I want somebody to be terrible.
Look, the one thing I love about, because I never have time to read. I'm playing music and doing other stuff as well. I never have time to read. So which audiobook would you suggest for a newbie like me just to delve into your world, basically?
Well, it just really depends what kind of books you like. If you go to my website and you look under books, there's a drop down and it says new to Claire's books, and then you can just go to that page and it will tell you what do you fancy, a royal romance, or do you want a romantic comedy set in London. If you want London-based books, my whole London romance series is in audio. So start with London Calling. My most popular audiobook is Nothing to Lose, hands down. So that's a tale of love and redemption. That was again inspired by a true story. I read about this guy who, in the 2015 floods in York, I don't know if you remember those, and everything was like half the town flooded. And I read about this guy who's flat flooded, and he didn't have any insurance, and he just lost his job, and he was depressed, and he lost everything basically, and he thought that was the end of his life. But the community rallied round, and he actually found new friends, and everybody gave him new stuff. Somebody put him up, and he said his life turned around in that terrible moment of and it came out the other side better. And so I thought, wow, that's amazing. And then I read this other story of the local mayor putting people up. So I thought, what if it was a woman who got her flat flooded, and she got put up with the local mayor, and they fell in love.
Love it.
I can't wait. I can land them all at once.
do you do your own audio? Do you narrate them, or is it somebody else?
No, I thought about it, and a lot of people said to me I could do it because I think I've got a voice for radio, and I'm used to doing podcasts. However, it's really tiring because it's a performance. It's not just chatting. And so I tried to do. I got my clothes horse and put a duvet over it for a bit of audio protection, and did like 15 minutes with my mates, like proper setup, professional setup, and it was just exhausting. I thought, I can't do 8 hours of this, so no. I employ professional narrators.
Right. So Christmas movies, what's your favorite Christmas movie? What's your go-to? You want to snuggle up with your wife on the sofa at Christmas, what's your movie?
Well, I love the Hallmark Channel. Just love one of those. There was a really good one this year called A Christmas Movie Christmas, where 2 Christmas movie lovers wake up in a Christmas movie. So it's like it eats itself. It's very funny. But I mean, of the classics, I love Elf, I love Muppet Christmas Carol, and The Holiday. Those 3, top 3.
Oh, I love The Holiday. I love that. It's one of my favorites as well. I think I watched it twice this year. Once with Holly before I left. Yeah. Have you watched that new film then that we were talking about earlier, Happiest Season, did you say?
Yes, it's not a very happy season.
I just think, I don't know, I kind of think it was miscast. I didn't warm to the lead characters. I like the
I think it was I'm behind it, I'm for it, because we need representation, and it was a big budget movie, right? And it had a good script, good cast, and all that. So it felt like it was properly done, as opposed to some that have come out over the years. But I would have just liked it to be more positive and not have one of the main characters really be so horrible to the other one. And I don't like Kristen Stewart pouting. I want to see her happy, but she does wear a blazer well. So, but I guess Carol does have a happy ending, but it seems a bit more sort of an upbeat ending. I was filled with the feels at the end, so that's good. Yeah. I do love Carol as well, though. Bit of Kate Blanchett, Mara, lovely.
Yeah, that's a great movie. So you mentioned Christmas. What's you're going to spend it at home just with you and your wife?
Yes, me, Yvonne, and another friend who was normally go back to Australia, but obviously she can't get a flight back at the moment. So she's going to come over. She's in our bubble anyway, so she's allowed to come anytime she likes.
Yeah. And you normally would have, because I know you're a big family person, you would normally have gone to see your parents. Is that?
Yeah.
Your normal Christmas would be a big family, would it?
Yes. Yeah. I would normally have gone to see them, but we're not going to do it this year. We're just going to stay here, seeing as though they're so close to getting the double vaccine, so may as well not take any chance. Yeah, and actually it'd be quite nice just to have a chilled Christmas.
I know, just not doing nothing and eat and drink yourselves, and yeah.
We do love to make some little tipples. What would be your Christmas tipple, Claire?
Well, I do like a mince pie martini.
Ooh.
Well, I know, right? I've stunned you. Which does feature in my book, All I Want for Christmas. I think I put the recipe in the back of the book. So it's 5 years ago I discovered this drink. It's mince pie liqueur with dark rum and apple juice.
Well, that sounds nice. I'm trying to think of something to make for Christmas Day, so that might. That's different. It's unusual. It's different.
It's actually nice. My wife had a works drinks. She's had like drinks and parties all week, and she got they sent them all a cocktail kit, and and there was 3 cocktails in it, and one of them was a winter Negroni. Are you Negroni fans?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So obviously it's normally gin, Campari, and vermouth. Is it vermouth? Yeah. And they swap the vermouth for port. So I'm going to try that tomorrow night.
I'm a big fan of port.
There you go.
Jo, are you a cocktail fan? What's your Christmas cocktail?
Yes, I would be more of a sex on the beach type of gal, being the Essex gal that I am. Yes, so or pina colada, all the classics. I love a bit of kitsch. Yes.
Oh, I'm an Essex girl. Go the Essex girls.
Oh, whereabouts then, Claire? Where are you from?
Leon-C.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, the nice part of Essex, yeah. But listen, 2020's been like a bit mad for everyone. Although it's, you've been so busy doing so many amazing things. But look, what plans have you got for like 2021? Anything amazing?
What have I got planned for 2021? I'm actually going to, I'm going to do a few more books and hopefully get on a plane and go somewhere.
Cross your fingers. Hopefully with this vaccination you'll do that. How many books did you write, and do you normally write in a year? I don't want to do the math.
For the last few years I've written 3 a year. So and last year I was hoping to write 4. So I actually did write 4, I just didn't publish 4. So that's why one's coming out so quickly. Which means I only got to write 2 next year. It's an easy year.
Put your feet up. Well, I kind of feel with COVID, I don't know whether this worked for you, but everybody seemed to be very, more productive. Did you find that you were more productive, even though it might not have been much of a difference for you being self-employed?
Yeah, I think I was a little bit. I'm fairly productive anyway. So yeah, nothing really changed. I guess everybody's situation changed a little bit, i.e. my wife used to go to work, out to work, and now she was working in the dining room. So that changed, but we soon got used to that. And yeah, so no great change.
Yeah.
How about you both?
Well, I spent 5 months here in Northern Ireland. I came over to visit my mum for a few weeks because she was diagnosed with cancer. So I thought I'll come over, spend some time with her. Then I got stuck here. So,
you seem quite happy and relaxed, though, Annella.
Well, if there's anywhere that you could be stuck during COVID, where I live in Northern Ireland is just so beautiful. So I was one of the lucky ones that felt lucky to be where I was. That I could get out each day and still be, away from a lot of people. Are we ready for the quick fire round? Yes. Let's find out the real Clare Lydon.
Here we go. I feel like it's a drum roll.
Yeah.
I'll put that in after maybe. Here we go. Yeah, we'll be able to listen to it in a minute. There'll be a drum roll. Right, okay. So you ready, Claire? Here we go. Okay, so Eurovision, Terry Wogan or Graham Norton?
Terry Wogan.
L word or lip service?
L word.
Jackie Collins or Joan Collins?
Oh. Jackie.
An easy one, maybe? Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Tea, all right.
Okay. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium or White Hart Lane?
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Okay. Now, out of these two, there could only be one that would win the Premier League this season. So out of West Ham and Arsenal, who would it be?
Oh, that's a mean question. At least there's no Chelsea.
It was going to be Chelsea.
I'm going to have to say Arsenal because my wife is an Arsenal fan. She'll kill me if I don't say that.
Very disappointed. Might not buy your books anymore. Okay.
That's it. Audiobook scrapped.
Off my list. Right. Okay. Cats or dogs?
I'm not really an animal person, but probably a dog.
Interesting. And ideal holiday destination when we can get back to that flying business?
Well, I was meant to go to Mexico in October, so it'd have to be there.
Whereabouts are we going to go?
We were just going to go to a place near Cancun just for some R&R. We went to Mexico on our honeymoon and loved it. So want to get back and yeah.
I'm a big fan of Mexico. If you ever get a chance to go to Mexico City, it's a brilliant, brilliant city.
Okay.
Love it there. Easy one, maybe? Red sauce, brown sauce?
Oh, red sauce.
Good one. Okay. French toast or eggy bread?
Aren't they the same thing?
Which one do you call it?
Yeah.
Neither. Oh. Which do I call it? Oh, probably French toast. But French toast is one of those things that I always think I like, and then whenever I order it, I go, "This is disgusting."
I love French toast and maple syrup. What do you listen to at the minute on your iPad? What's your favorite song? I'm getting into the Ghost Poet album. That's on my kind of repeat playlist. What have you got going on?
I think Taylor's new album. And just a lot of I'm very into Cam at the moment, so a bit of country.
Right.
And Maren Morris, love her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so bit of country, bit of Taylor. Oh, I'm a country girl, clearly.
Yeah. Do you like Shovels and Rope? Have you heard them?
No.
Check them out. They're country, alt country, or what, country punk, not punk rock, but
yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, they're one of my favorite bands, and they're country. They're from the Carolinas.
Okay.
They're great.
That's one of the ones. There's a thing at the O2 every year called the C2C Music Festival, which is a country music festival. And on the Thursday night, they always have like a songwriter showcase where all the writers of all the hits come and perform them for you and tell the story of it. And it's one of my favorite nights out of the year. And it was, we were there going this year, and then COVID happened because it's March the 9th, so it was right on the cusp.
Oh. Do you miss your music writing days?
Do I miss it? Not really, because I'm writing fiction now. So. It's one of those things. I mean, when I think about it, I used to go to gigs 3-4 nights a week, so so that would exhaust me now.
Yeah. Oh God.
But it was great. It was great to do it. It was my smash hits dream lived out. But I'm quite happy doing fiction writing now.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. And look, it is Christmas, so I can't not ask, what's your favourite Christmas song?
Oh, again, it's a 3-way tie. The Pogues and Kirsty, Wham and Mariah. So I love them all. I have been playing Magic FM quite a lot because they've gone 100% Christmas.
You love Christmas, don't you? I remember.
Yeah, pretty much. I watch at least one Christmas movie a day, probably, and I've got Christmas on. Apart from today when I was proofing my book, and Yvonne came up and said, I knew some concentration was happening because there was no Christmas music.
Love it.
But the fairy tale of New York is still a beautiful thing. I often sit in Soho Square and sit on Kirsty's chair as well. Have you seen the bench in Soho Square?
I had some friends. I've still got these friends. Then I haven't pushed them off a cliff or anything. They're huge Kirsty MacColl fans, and every year there's a Kirsty MacColl sort of event happens on her birthday, and they sing Kirsty songs in Soho Square. Have you been to it?
It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, from a distance. I think from outside, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I think is Billy Bragg involved in that? I think
he has. Yeah, he has been. And I went a couple of years when I met my mate down there, and Ellie Goulding came down one year, and sort of before she was super famous.
Right. Yeah, I do love Kirsty MacColl. I'm a big fan of hers as well. Really sad that she died. Anyway, Claire,
I was going to say thank you for answering our quick fire round and letting us know and having a little peek into your world, Claire. It's been great. And thank you.
No, it's been great to be here. Thank you for asking me.
Yeah, and thanks for listening to Stuff and Nonsense. Our guest again was Clare Lydon, writer, podcaster, publisher. Missing anything else, Claire?
Karaoke queen.
Karaoke queen, Christmas fan. Cheers, Claire, for joining us, and wishing you a very, very happy holiday season. And before you go, just remind us where to buy, listen to your books, podcasts, and such like.
Everything can be found at my website, which is www.clarelydon.co.uk.
That's great. Thanks again, Claire. Listen, it'd be great if you could show some love for us by leaving a review. You can subscribe, even retweet, and all the other nonsense. Then you won't miss out on all the stuff and the nonsense. Find us on the Stuff and Nonsense Show on Facebook, which is facebook.com/The Stuff and Nonsense Show. We're going to leave you with something to ponder. If you decide that you are indecisive, does that make you decisive or indecisive? So, goodbye, Annella.
Goodbye, Jo. Goodbye, Claire.
Bye.
Bye.
I once did a podcast where the neighbour started tiling their bathroom, and like halfway through, it's just this, and this woman, but she was calling me at 2 a.m. from America, and I had to get her to do the entire podcast again.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
That's horrendous.